You go to a hotel, they give you a little card.
Yeah.
Stuff like that unlocks a door.
Mm-hmm.
And they have systems now where they just scans your face.
Facial recognition.
Yeah, and then it unlocks the door. It knows it's you. And that's kind of where I'm like excited to see where that goes. Like, what's next, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
Positively West Virginia is powered by Breezeline high-speed fiber internet and sponsored by Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Key of Morgantown, Interaction Media, and Storymaker. With the help of these sponsors, we are able to share the positive business stories of West Virginians, including the one featured in today's episode.
Folks, we're visiting today with Ashton Kepple. He is the owner of Safe Now here in West Virginia. Ashton, thanks for being on the show today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Yeah,
Good to be here.
Yeah, thank you. Thanks for being in the studio. I appreciate what you're doing with your company, Safe Now. Ashton, tell us a little bit about what you do.
Yeah, so we're a security and fire company. It started in 2014, so the company's been around for a while, but I acquired the company in 2020, so we're going from there, and we renamed it. It used to be called Accelerated. So, you know, we're rebranding everything.
Yeah, to Safe Now. And, you know, I think your motto is protecting what matters most or something along those lines.
Yep.
And so that's really important because, you know, people want to have a secure home, secure business. They want to make sure that they're being monitored for not only fire, but for all sorts of security
absolutely.
issues. And I think that's great. But the thing that I think is really cool about your situation, Ashton, is you're actually a student.
Mm-hmm.
You're working on a degree in marketing from West Liberty University, right? I mean, you're running a business full-time. You're a full-time student. You're a senior. You're born in Wheeling, West Virginia. You grew up here in West Virginia. Now you own a business here as you're going to school. That's got to be a tremendous burden.
It is. I'm online right now, so it's not, you know, physically going to class, but
it's still you still got to do the work, right?
Yes.
I mean, that's the deal.
Yeah.
I think it's inspirational. How did you get started into this business? In other words, you took it over in 2020. Here you are 4 years in. How did you get started in it?
Yeah. So basically, it was a company made to support other companies, like a leasing company, a construction company, and in 2020, the owners wanted to sell.
Yeah.
So I jumped in there. I was like, yeah, let's do this.
This is what you want to do.
Yeah, let's make it a company for itself, not more of a support company as it was.
Yeah, so you're out there serving the population. Where do your customers come from? Where do they live? Talk a little bit about the geographic area.
Our main clientele's around Morgantown, 100 miles. We say 100 miles, but we'll go longer than that. But our general clientele is in Morgantown.
Yeah, and 100 miles outside of that.
Yes.
So Ashton, obviously you're a student, which I already mentioned, and you own a business. I think it's incredibly inspirational. What inspired you to become an entrepreneur? Where's that? Is it in your family? Talk a little bit about that background.
I've always liked, like running a business and like the idea of it. I was president of a fraternity at West Lib. Yeah. And that really like gave me a lot of experience on leading people, and then even financial stuff. We had a budget for events and stuff like that. Yeah. And a lot of that carried on over to, how to run a business, Yeah.
Great. Well, obviously you're doing a great job. Talk a little bit about the specifics of your business. In other words, we know that you're a security business for fire and all sorts of things, monitoring services. Yeah. Talk about the things that you're best known for. Let's put it that way.
Big thing is fire. Fire systems and all the commercial buildings. Yeah. That's required by the state and the government. So definitely fire systems are big. Yeah. That's a big one. We try to focus on that because it's a fire system. You don't want the alarm to go off and then nothing's happened, or vice versa. Yeah. The alarm doesn't go off when there is a fire. So, there's a lot into the
Well, I
fire.
imagine, you know, Ashton, in your business, technology plays a big role, right?
Oh, yeah,
Because
definitely.
nowadays, I mean, I know I have, you know, the ability to monitor cameras from my home, what's going on
Yeah.
anywhere in the world. In real time, I can look and see, okay, yeah, the dogs are looking pretty good.
Yeah,
Look
right.
like they're being fed. And,
Yeah.
you know, I have a construction crew on my property right now. It's kind of cool. I can just pull up my camera and look at them and say, hey, yeah, they showed up today. you know?
Right. Yeah.
But talk a little bit about the technology aspect of your business and how that's impacting.
It's, oh, for sure. I mean, right now with AI and all that,
Yeah.
there's these new camera systems are coming out with. They have recognition, so you can type in, all right, we're looking for a blue car, and then it'll show you the times where there was a blue car in the picture. It's crazy. And
Wow.
it was like person with package was it here at this time, red car passed at this time. You know, it can recognize stuff
Yeah.
using AI, which is
It's kind of scary, but
It is.
it's a good kind of scary,
Right.
though, right?
Yeah.
Because the information that's out there, and you see cameras everywhere, right?
Oh, yeah.
And I imagine cameras are a big part of your business as well,
yes,
right?
absolutely.
I know we're a customer of Safe Now. You guys
Yeah.
installed I think it's called a Ring device.
For Google Nest.
Google Nest.
Yes.
Yeah, that's right. Talk a little bit about that technology.
Yeah, the
now.
Google Net, I mean, that's one of those ones. Usually I don't say go to Walmart and buy, you know, like those camera systems, that DIY systems, really.
Right.
But the Google Nest, what they did was make it really easy to like connect to your Wi-Fi, and then all your devices are all linked up in
Yeah.
one app, which
That's
is really
amazing.
neat.
Yeah.
And, you know, I installed a doorbell here
Yeah.
with the camera. You know, you just hit it, and then
Yeah.
you can see, you can look at it live no matter where you are.
Exactly. Yeah. That's
It's
super
really
right?
cool how far it's going.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I'm excited to see, you know,
Well,
where it goes.
Yeah, I appreciate the artificial intelligence aspect
Yeah.
of it too, and the predictive nature of that. Where I think you'll be able to start seeing where you see patterns of traffic, or maybe areas that you didn't realize people were coming to your business or whatever. Now you can really start to think about that in terms of
Definitely.
your business or your home, right? Your personal space.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, all right. So talk a little bit about, I always ask people, what's your 30-second pitch? So for Safe Now, what do you tell people that you do?
Yeah, like you said, serving people, protecting property. It's our motto. Everyone should have a security system, because you don't know you need one until it's too late.
Yeah.
And there's those DIY things you can buy at Sam's and, all that. But they don't last as long, and they just don't give you the protection you need. So, we've had our operations manager. He's been doing it over 20 years.
Wow.
So a lot of
Amazing.
experience there.
Yeah. And so really, even if you do have those DIY cameras, you still need somebody to monitor it. And they can, obviously that's something that you guys do,
Right.
is offer the monitoring
Yes.
of those systems, making sure that the calls are dispatched to 911 or the police or whatever. Is that is that kind of accurate?
Yeah, no,
accurate description of
so
how it works?
we have a monitoring center in Hagerstown, Maryland.
Okay,
So they do all the calls, and
So it's not offshore; it's right here in a local region.
Yep.
Yeah, that's important, I think.
Yeah, I think so. They handle all the calls. They're on it. I mean, they do it really fast. They're polite on the phone. Like if your alarm goes off, they'll call you.
That's
They're
awesome.
like, hey, did you set off the alarm? And no, it was a false alarm.
Yeah, that's good to know. Right here, not only in West Virginia, but just across the border in Hagerstown. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
Your prescriptions are designed to keep you healthy, active, full of life. At Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, we're making vital medicine more affordable. Because when your prescriptions don't cost an arm and a leg, you can use those limbs for something more meaningful. Because life. Highmark Blue Cross Blue Shield, West Virginia.
At Freedom Kia, you'll find the perfect ride and savings for your summer adventures. This summer, dive into savings and fun. Just down the road is the Aquatic Center at Milan Park, where you can cool off and have some fun.
Find what you have been searching for in the 2024 Kia Telluride. Right now at Freedom Kia of Morgantown, qualified buyers can save $2,500 on the 2024 Kia Telluride. For your next new Kia, look no further than Freedom Kia exit I-79, exit 153, Morgantown.
And folks, we're back. We're visiting with Ashton Kepple. He is the owner of Safe Now, located in West Virginia. They're a fire and security company that provides monitoring services as well as all the technology you need to go around to protect your home, your business, anything, right?
Yes, sir.
Your school, whatever. Ashton, what would you say is the thing you're most excited about for Safe Now right now?
Yeah, like I said earlier, the AI, where that's headed.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see where that goes in terms of security, cameras, even access control. That's getting pretty crazy.
Talk about access control. I have a feeling I know what that is. It's like a badge or maybe a lanyard or a key card that you swipe or something.
You know, you go to a hotel, they give you a little card.
Yeah.
Stuff like that unlocks a door. And they have systems now where they just scans your face.
Facial recognition.
Yeah, and then it unlocks the door. It knows it's you. And that's kind of where I'm like excited to see where that goes. Like what's next, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. And I know a lot of the predictive type stuff that we were talking about, technology. I know that if you're in business, you can say, for instance, you have a retail store, you can pick up like heat mapping, right? Where they can track where like your traffic is going down this particular aisle and they stop at this. That's where you want to put the hot selling items and stuff like that.
It's
so
nuts.
heat mapping and these predictive type things, I think are just going to continue to play more and more into, and if you're a business owner, I would say that you need that, right? You need all that help you can get these days.
Definitely a powerful tool. Yeah.
And
then I know during COVID, the cameras, we hung up some cameras that would take your temperature.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And
that was the thing, right?
Yeah.
If you had a temperature of over 100, you can't come in.
Right. And the access control, same thing. If it read your temperature as over 100 or whatever it was, it won't unlock the door for you.
Do you do any work in schools, Ashton?
Yes. Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that because I think that's an important aspect
we do,
of what you do too.
Yeah, a school here in Morgantown, they have a full hundreds of cameras. It's probably the biggest client here in Morgantown, really. All cameras, controlled access. Each classroom has a panic button, shuts everything down, and school shooting instances, bulletproof glass. They're really protected at that school.
Yeah, amazing.
Yeah,
well, I think that's it's vital today. Because
for sure.
You hear these things. It's almost become commonplace. Sad to say, right?
Oh yeah.
With school violence and things like that. So I'm glad that you're in that space, providing safety and security for not just the students, but the teachers, the faculty, the staff, everybody. Right.
For sure.
And these vulnerable targets. So appreciate what you're doing there for sure. You mentioned you had an employee that had over 20 years experience yourself. How many folks do you have employed right now?
So we have 3 technicians and 1 manager, and then me.
Wow. It's a nice sized crew.
Yeah, it's a small company, but
you're growing.
Yes.
That's
definitely.
Very cool. Well, let's talk a little bit about you've been doing this for what, 4 years or so?
Yep. About 4 years now.
And you're a senior in college. I think it's so cool. Again, I'll mention that because I'm very impressed with you. What's one of the most interesting things you've seen since you've been running this business?
I get a lot of, a client will ask us to run through some camera footage and, see where someone came in or stole something. And there was one, this is pretty funny. We had an apartment complex, and someone decided to just steal the gym equipment, like the elliptical.
No kidding.
And so they put it in the elevator. You can follow them on the cameras. Roll it. They have like a mask on. And he tries to put it in his like Honda Civic, and it doesn't fit. So he just leaves it out on the street.
He made it all the way.
Yeah.
Didn't plan the getaway vehicle very well.
Yeah. And we got the license plate, all the car and stuff.
No kidding.
That was really funny to watch him be like all frustrated and surprised he couldn't fit an elliptical in the back of a Honda Civic.
Wow, so
that's pretty funny.
So, but these cameras you're talking about, so I'm going to kind of play off that a little bit. They have to be kind of high resolution, right? They can't be a grainy image to be able to pick up a license plate.
Definitely for license plates, and Yeah, that's another thing with AI. They're getting better and better quality cameras. We have 8K cameras now.
No kidding.
Which there was 4K before that.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're getting really
high definition.
High def.
Even in low light situations. Like a lot of times these crimes, I imagine, happen at night.
Oh yeah.
Right? And you got to be able to have, these cameras need to be able to see
definitely
in low light. How does that work? Is it like LED technology?
Yeah,
how does it work?
It's called white light.
Yeah.
It's basically this, I don't know how it works like physically, but you can see like all through night.
Almost like night vision.
Yeah, I mean that's what it is.
Yeah, I've seen the photographs or the videos like that.
Yeah,
and it looks like night vision.
But it'll still be clear somehow. It's the cameras are getting very good. Yeah. Like as we go on, and then with the AI stuff, it's getting more and more complex as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, Ashton, again, going back to, you're a senior in college working on a degree in marketing from West Liberty. I own a business for the last 4 years. How do you intend to use your degree and just blow this thing up? I mean, it seems like you got some pretty cool ideas that you're working on. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, my main role in the company is just sales, getting more clients, networking with people.
How do you like that part?
I like that part, and that's why I got into it. That's why I'm a marketing major.
Yeah.
I like the networking aspect of things.
Absolutely. Well, it's interesting because, a lot of businesses kind of become entrepreneurial, or they kind of back into it. They fall into it by accident, like an accidental entrepreneur. But here you are working on a degree in marketing. You see this business goes up for sale. You're like, man, I could take this and run with it.
Yeah.
And here you are. You've already created your own opportunity right here in West Virginia. How cool is that?
I like it. It's very interesting.
Well, Ashton, when I think about part of our mission here, Positively West Virginia, is to keep our young people here in West Virginia. We hear so many times of all these statistics that our young people are leaving for opportunity. And here, now I've been saying it for years and years, since 2017 when we started this podcast, that sometimes you have to create your own opportunity. And that seems like what you're doing.
Yeah. No,
Am I on point with that?
That's a very good point.
Yeah, you're creating your own opportunity. I think that's super cool. Well, folks, we're going to take a quick break. This is Positively West Virginia. We'll be right back.
My name's Caitlin Furby. I'm an interior designer with Remarkable Interiors. Our time is very limited. We're trying to do everything we can possible to keep our clients' projects moving and rolling. So Storymaker has been really great for us for putting out how to explain our company. I can sit and agonize about a post. And is this right? Does this sound good? When I use Storymaker, it sounds so beautiful and it was so easy, and it saves me a lot of time to do the things that I'm really good at.
Stay connected with an unbeatable deal from Breezeline. Get reliable, fiber-powered 500 megabits internet for $39.99 per month with a $100 gift card and price lock guarantee, plus a free modem, free installation, and free Wi-Fi your way. Folks, here at Interaction Media, we're a media company, and we rely on high-speed internet every single day to get our jobs done. That's why we use Breezeline. It's affordable, it's fast, and they're awesome people as well. Learn more at breezeline.com. Folks, we're back. We're visiting with Ashton Kepple. He's the owner of Safe Now. He is a student, a senior at West Liberty University, as well as the successful business owner right here in Morgantown. Ashton, how do you get new customers? You talked about you wanted to get into this business because you like networking, you like talking to people. You're responsible for sales for the business. How do you do that? How do you get new people in?
So I'm working on getting in with the chamber down here in Morgantown.
Morgantown Area Partnership.
Yeah. Morgantown Area Partnership. I'm going to an event Thursday. Yeah. So that's one thing.
Put yourself out there.
Yes.
Become a little vulnerable, if you will.
Right. And I joined another group called Pittsburgh Business Exchange.
Oh, yeah.
That's a big one. I already got a big client out of that. So, just going to those events and networking with people, they might come up to you and be like, hey, I need a security system. It could be very easy.
Well, a lot of people, I think, make the mistake of going to a networking event and trying to sell somebody the first time they meet them, right? But it seems like you've kind of got to figure it out where you want to let people know what you do. You have your 30-second pitch down, which you did, right? And be able to talk to folks. And then as the opportunity presents itself, you say, yeah, I can help you with that. Talk a little bit. Yeah, expand on that a little.
Yeah, I like to get to know them a little bit, you know, not just go in like, hey, I want to sell you a security system. Yeah, kind of get to know them a little bit, and then just talk about what they would like and why they're here. Yeah. You know, maybe they have something I could benefit from. You know,
very wise.
I could support their business.
Yeah, reciprocal reciprocity. Right. Yes. The law of reciprocity. I think it's really, really important to know.
Definitely.
Right now, Ashton, in terms of growing your business, all right, you're 4 years in or so. What's the highest level of challenge that you're facing right now?
Right now, it's hiring. You know, I would love to have a sales team out there.
Yeah.
Some more technicians would be good too. So we are hiring here at Safe Now.
Yeah, there you go.
But yeah, I'd say hiring. That's a big one.
What do you have, like, you know, obviously you're focusing on getting your degree, which I think is super cool. You're trying to run this business the best you can, which you're doing a great job. What's the long-term vision for Safe Now?
I would like to have, you know, a different location other than Morgantown. I've looked in the Uniontown, maybe Wheeling even.
Yeah.
Just to expand where we can go.
Your footprint.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
That's very cool. I want to talk about leadership. You mentioned that you were, you know, in a fraternity at West Lib.
Yes.
Leadership is extremely important. I feel like, you know, we need to place a higher emphasis on leadership and attributes. What would you say is the most important thing a young leader should be focusing on in business right now?
Patience, you know, be patient with stuff. It takes time. And then surround yourself around people, good people, successful people, and, you know, people that are going to help you rather than surrounding yourself by people who are going to bring you down and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So that's where, you know, the fraternity was really big in my leadership skills forming.
Yeah.
So
what would you say to maybe a college student that's listening to this right now that wants to get into business someday? What would be a piece of advice you would give them to, you know, to do exactly what you just said, surrounding themselves with good quality people?
Yeah, I mean, look into BNI groups are always good.
Yeah.
BNI fraternities, you know, there's some bad ones, but you look for the right one that fits you.
Yeah.
And then again, surround yourself with good people that are going to support you.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. Yeah, there's enough naysayers out there, right, that are going to want to bring you down.
Yes, definitely.
and honestly, you know, there's some degree of that is okay, right? But you don't want to have your ideas squashed before they become reality.
Yeah, you want some constructive criticism.
I think that's good. Do you have any mentors in your world?
Yeah, my dad, a big mentor.
Yeah. Talk about that relationship.
Yeah, so he's still involved with the company, helps me, tells me if I'm messing up, you know, stuff like that. But definitely say he's my number one mentor.
Yeah.
Gives me advice on pretty much anything.
Yeah.
So
that's great. And he's from the Wheeling area, obviously.
Yeah, he lives there now. He's from Shepherdstown, West Virginia.
Oh, okay.
So
great.
Out in the eastern panhandle.
From one side of the state to the other.
Yep.
That's super cool. Ashton, you know, when you think about starting a business, you kind of had this mindset when you saw this business was up for sale. You're like, yeah, let's go for it. You know, you're all in.
Right.
You know, when you think about a business person who may have an idea out there, you know, maybe they're 10 or 20 years into their career, but they've got this passion. They want to start a business. You know, what would you say to them?
I mean, I'm all for it. Yeah, go for it. You know, start a business. But again, it comes down to patience.
Yeah.
You got to have the capital to start a business too. You can't just start it out of absolutely nothing. You need something to, you know, get started. You need a little
bit of a runway to get started.
Yes.
Yeah. You know, I say that all the time. You know, I try to tell people that, you know, if you got a business idea, you got to make sure, you can't just go to necessarily the bank and borrow 2 years worth of salary. That's not good. You need cash flow, right? Cash is king.
Yes.
And you got to grow, I think, at the speed of cash, So having capital is an important thing. But you can also start things as a side hustle, right?
Yeah.
And if you've got a full-time job and you're not in conflict with your employer, start your side hustle. Start with what you have where you are.
Yeah, and I'd say another big thing is be ready to lose money, because
Exactly.
that's going to happen when you're starting a business.
But gamble on yourself, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what better bet can you make is on yourself,
right?
If you believe in yourself,
Yep.
for sure. That's awesome. Ashton, we've covered a lot in this interview. Is there anything else you think that our audience would be interested to know about Safe Now or your personal story?
I don't think so. I think that's all. I think we covered everything.
Yeah, that's good. Well, I think you're a fine young man. I think that you're a great business leader, even though you're just getting started. You haven't even graduated college yet. Soon, right? When do you graduate, by the way?
Next year.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. That's good. I just want to encourage folks that if you're in need of a security company, whether it's for your business, your home, monitoring, fire, any kind of camera systems, get with Safe Now. Ashton Kepple is the owner. Ashton, how can our listeners learn more about you and get in touch with you through maybe an email or something?
Yeah.
What's the best way for them to do that?
Email info@safenow-security.com.
Yeah.
And our website is safenow-security.com.
Yeah.
Just send us an email, fill out the form on the website, and we'll get you set up.
Yeah, I love it, man. And we'll make sure we have all those links on the show notes section and on social media, so folks can just get in touch with you.
Cool.
Have a conversation with our guest today, Ashton Kepple, the owner of Safe Now. Ashton, it's been a great honor for us to have you on the show today to learn about your story. I'm very encouraged by such a young person at a young age, right from here in West Virginia, the Wheeling area, is doing great things in the Morgantown area as well now. So thanks for being on the show, and I think what you're doing is awesome. Keep up the great work.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
We'd like to thank our partners, Highmark West Virginia, Freedom Kia of Morgantown, Interaction Media, Storymaker, and our studio sponsor, Breezeline, for helping to share these positive stories. If you'd like to become a sponsor of the Positively West Virginia podcast, visit positivelywv.com/sponsor.
Folks, that's a wrap on another episode of Positively West Virginia. We appreciate your comments, your suggestions for guests. And if you know of somebody that would be a great guest on the show, have them drop us a line at positivelywv.com. And of course, we do appreciate you sharing these episodes on your social media channels as well to get the story out about young people just like Ashton Kepple today. On behalf of our entire Positively West Virginia team, including our producer today, Mr. Justin Schofield, behind the controls today, I'm your host, Jim Matuga.